Peter Sutcliffe. Peter Sutcliffe, known as the Yorkshire Ripper, was one of Britain's most notorious serial killers, responsible for the brutal murders of 13 women and the attempted murder of 7 others between 1975 and 1980. Born on June 2, 1946, in Bingley, West Yorkshire, Sutcliffe led a seemingly ordinary life as a lorry driver, but beneath the surface, he harbored a violent hatred towards women, which he claimed was driven by delusional voices instructing him to kill. The crimes. Sutcliffe's attacks were characterized by extreme brutality, often using hammers, screwdrivers, and knives to mutilate his victims. His early victims were predominantly sex workers, which led police to initially focus their investigations on the red light districts of Yorkshire. However, Sutcliffe's later attacks on non-sex workers broadened the scope of fear and confusion, as the public realized that any woman could be at risk. The investigation, known as the Ripper Inquiry, became one of the largest and most controversial in British history. The police were heavily criticized for their handling of the case, particularly for their failure to apprehend Sutcliffe sooner despite interviewing him 9 times during their investigation. A key factor in the delay was the infamous Wearside Jack hoax, in which a man sent misleading letters and an audio tape to the police, claiming to be the Ripper and diverting the investigation away from Sutcliffe. Capture and trial. Sutcliffe was finally apprehended on January 2, 1981, when police stopped him in Sheffield for driving with false number plates. During questioning, Sutcliffe confessed to being the Yorkshire Ripper, providing detailed accounts of his crimes. His trial took place later that year, and despite attempts to plead insanity, Sutcliffe was convicted of 13 counts of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. Legacy and impact. The case of Peter Sutcliffe had a profound impact on British society, changing the way serial crimes were investigated and leading to widespread criticism of the police's handling of the case. Sutcliffe's crimes also highlighted the vulnerability of marginalized women and the societal attitudes towards them, which contributed to the initial failures in the investigation. Sutcliffe was imprisoned at Broadmoor Hospital and later at HMP Frankland, where he died in November 2020 from complications related to COVID-19. His name remains synonymous with terror in Britain, and his story continues to be studied as a dark chapter in the history of criminal investigation and law enforcement.